welcome to day 5 of our adventure to Cape Town. Today we are heading to the V&A waterfront to check out the Oceans Aquarium, and then from there we're going to take a drive to Clifton and see some of the beaches along the coast.
You might find one pet seal and we'll bring it home.
Alright, so let's get on our way. So we are back here at the Victorian and Alfred waterfront, V&A waterfront. So we're here to see the Oceans Aquarium. But first, we are going to book our tour of Robben Island. So that's the first thing we gotta sort out. So our tickets for Robben Island have been booked. There was a slight change of plans. We are now heading to Robben Island at 5 o'clock today, because the next booking was only available at 3 o'clock. So we're doing Robben Island today as well as we're doing the aquarium. So now we are actually walking towards the aquarium. Yeah. So we have to pass through the watershed first and then get to the aquarium. So the next stop on our day of adventures is the iconic Bo-Kaap. So we're just heading towards an arch that gives us the whole story of Bo-Kaap. But as you can see, every house on this road is a different color. Anything I'm missing, Jimmy?
Yeah, if you come here already looking to Missile Plain, that is why the Bo-Kaap is painted these colors. And if you go to Missile Plain, the houses are painted the same color.
These are exact same colors.
Yeah.
We are back at the Victoria and Alfred Waterfall, V&A Waterfront, and as I said, now we're back for the tour of Robben Island. So we're heading in. Our trip starts at 5. So we're slightly early. It's like something past 4. 1 second. It is 4:15.
Welcome on board, guys. Good evening, man.
Good, thanks.
How are you? Fine, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be your tour guide for the next 45 minutes, taking you through the prison. There's some few issues or dots that I want us to take notice of that we are going to connect as we are moving on. I'm going to take you through several spaces that are going to reflect the life of Bo-Kaap prisoners during their stay in Robben Island. Let me begin with the space where we are. Where you are standing, particularly those at the back there, they are remnants of a foundation that are there. Those are remnants of a foundation of an initial prison referred to as the zinc drum, which I normally refer to as the genesis of the prison that we are seeing, which is popularly known as the Robben Island Maximum Security Prison. It is those inmates of that particular prison that have built this prison, barehanded, barefooted, short-panted, under very harsh labor conditions and heavily guarded by heavily armed prison warders and also by dogs. If you look around this prison, there are 5 security posts. Those security posts are symbolic to the heavy-handed conditions or system that was used by the authorities on the prisoners that were here. Alongside those 5 security points, you'll find there's a fence that surrounds the entire prison, which is designed in the form of a cage. In that cage, it's where dogs were held that were also adding the security heavy arm of the authorities who were administering this particular facility. At this space that is fenced here, in the recent few months, sometime 2018, 2019, human skeletons were found here. 2 human skeletons. It's dots that we need to connect. But given the background of the harsh conditions that those who are here in this prison have suffered for, you leave that with much more to desire. Because there are deaths that are recorded, many deaths that are recorded, with graves found and with graves not found. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't have a name for now. My name is a number, and that number is 45/86. This is the memory tree. The memory tree is a space where most of the Bo-Kaap prisoners used to gather under, plan, share some memories, share some very important issues that relates to the livelihood of the Bo-Kaap prisoners here. Ladies and gentlemen, you are now in jail. Welcome to Robben Island. What you have just seen happening is the day-to-day life of Bo-Kaap prisoners. When that door is locked, you must know you are under the spell of the authorities. That's after they've counted you and ensure your number is exactly the number that was supposed to be here. We are going to hear that door being opened in the early hours of the morning when they are bringing your food. And times in jail were not as normal as your life outside. You eat early hours of the morning your breakfast, and you eat your evening food at 3:30 exactly. By 4 o'clock, this door is closed. Ladies and gentlemen, upon your arrival, you arrive here, taken to the reception center, stripped naked upon arrival, searched while naked, given a number, and the number is according to the sequence of the number of your arrivals and / the year of your arrival. Upon your arrival, ladies and gentlemen, you forfeit your name. You are called a number. You are going to be graded A, B, C, D. But upon arrival, you are only graded D. And you are going to accumulate your grades as time goes on, depending on the so-called good behavior, as they are saying. But it was important for us to be graded so as to gang against their wish, because that grading was working good for us, not for them. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be classified according to your race, color, or creed, and that is going to determine the privileges that you are going to get. The privileges that you are going to get, ladies and gentlemen, as a black person whom they refer to as Bantu, it's going to determine what type of clothing you are going to get and what type of food you are going to get. In terms of clothing, ladies and gentlemen, you as a black person and you as a colored and an Indian, you are going to be given the following. As a black person, You are not supposed to wear sandals. You are going to be barefooted and short-panted. That is your prison attire. And you as a colored and an Indian, you are going to receive what do you call it? Sandals and long sleeve trousers. And that also determines your food, your diet. The diet that you see there at the kitchen was a diet that was fought for. And it was a diet that pressure was put by our friendly forces in order to change. The actual diet of Robben Island, of political prisoners, is this one, ladies and gentlemen. You, as a black person or as a Bantu, referred to, this is a type of food that you are going to get. And you, who are referred to as a colors and Indian, this is a type of food that you are going to get. In simple terms, ladies and gentlemen, I normally make this example. From the colored and the Indian community, you are allowed to get milk and bread. From the black community, you are not allowed to get milk and bread. You receive what they call upuzamanda. Upuzamanda and millis, cooked millis. Instead of cooked millis, you receive milipap. Upuzamanda, ladies and gentlemen, if I want to simplify that, it's an energy drink that is made out of millis that was used in the mines. Used in the mines because mines have only men. And to deactivate their manhood, they use upuzamanda. You become sexually inactive. If I put it straight to you, that is upuzamanda. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the type of life that these people who were here were living. Ladies and gentlemen, torture was never immune in this space. Torture was a day-to-day thing. Both physical torture and psychological torture. Psychological torture, they use the privileges that you're supposed to get in order to get on you. You are supposed to receive visits as per right, but that was a privilege. You receive 2 visits per year in the initial stages, but it was changed to 1 visit per month, which is 12 visits per year and 12 letters per year. But all those were depending on what they call censorship, ladies and gentlemen. This is censorship. And censorship was determined in a letter by the language that you are going to use at that time. If you receive a letter that is mixed languaged, that letter is going to be seriously censored. Because if you will use Sishangan or Shivenda and English, the English part will be left and all the Shivenda and the Shangan part will be censored. It's going to be cut like the letter exhibit is cut. The undesirable language means the majority of warders who were here were young African-speaking males. Those who respect the apartheid system more than they respect anybody else. And they have to ensure that you feel that you are under their spell. Should you speak, they speak to you with Afrikaans and you answer in English, you are in to hell. So this was applying in the letters. I normally make this example of saying, say a person from Limpopo, a mama doesn't understand English, ask a school kid there to write a letter to Umaru, who's in Robben Island. Writing the first paragraph of the letter, hello my son, how are you? It's been a long time. And the ending of the letter, we hope to see you should our permit be granted to come and visit you. The rest of the letter is written in Sashangan. That whole letter is going to be censored. The only English wording will be left. Psychologically, they deal with you. Equally in the visiting space, ladies and gentlemen, should you use another language other than English or not, or Afrikaans, they cut your visit with immediate effect. That's what they call censorship. Above that censorship, it's not automatic that you are going to get a visit. It's not automatic that you are going to get a visit. You apply for that visit, ladies and gentlemen. And that visit will come upon granting of permission. If they don't grant permission to all your 12 visits, you are not going to get a visit. Hence, most of us were living like brothers and sisters. Those who are not receiving visits, we normally gang and say, we are going to talk to my sister, we are going to talk to my brother, we are going to talk to my cousin. Everybody bombards applications up until at least you got 1 or 2 visits per year. That is the kind of psychological warfare that they play, ladies and gentlemen. Next to me here, ladies and gentlemen, this is a list of people who died here. Hence I said, this place was not immune to death, nor immune to physical torture. The reason of those people to die, it was because of denial of medication, it was because of psychological torture, it was because of physical torture. Those are Namibians and South Africans who died in this space, ladies and gentlemen. Some of their graves were found, and some of their graves are not found up until today. There's still lists, ladies and gentlemen, that are not featuring here. Some of the lists were taken from here in 1967. A group of 22, one of them was my uncle, Nicholas Bebile Hans, who were taken from here and hanged into the gallows in Pretoria. Some of them they didn't even go through a trial. Some of them have gone through a night trial. In the middle of the night, the judge and the prosecutor sit and decide your case, and tomorrow morning you are going to the gallows. The whole 22 was hanged. We only buried them a year before last in Pan. Some of them and the others were buried in Transkei. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a life that people live here. This is your bed system with 3 blankets. 1 blanket you use as a sheet, and 1 blanket you use as your pillow, and 1 blanket is your throw over. This is also your chair. You fold your blanket in the military style and you sit. Because then you have to sit here, you don't sleep during the day, you only sleep when those doors are closed and locked. Should you be found sleeping during the course of the day, it's punishment. Very serious punishment. 3 meals you forfeit, and you are taken from here and put on the single cells in the dungeons there. Ladies and gentlemen, because of the fight that was waged and the assistance from our sister organizations internationally, that system of bedding was introduced. In actual fact, that system of bedding has no difference from this. It's the same. Because the same ailments you get is the same ailments you get here. The bed sores, the back aches, and what you call this thing. What's that thing?
Spine.
Piles.
Not the spine. Unumgelen Afrikaans eigenlijk. That thing. Amber, my sister. Amber, both gives you amber. That's the kind of life. Ladies and gentlemen, in final, this space had a history that transcends from slavery. The bad practice of slavery. Ostracization. Ostracization, ladies and gentlemen, is all those who were suffering from leprosy, who were taken to Robben Island to come and rot and die. This is the bad part that this space is symbolically known about. Thirdly, ladies and gentlemen, this is a space where kings, queens, tribes of different nationalities in South Africa, all those who were standing against colonization, were captured and thrown here to rot and die. A space of captivity. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a space of human torture, both physically and psychologically. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a space of banishment, whom I can mention, your Robert Sobukwe, who was sent here indefinitely to come and rot and die, but he survived. He died in the outer world. But the leader of the Muslim, who was banished by the colonial British, died here, and his remains were exhumed and buried at the Kramat, which we are going to have a history thereof. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, this is a space of political imprisonment. That is the bad part and the evil side of this space. The evil that were inflicted by human against humans because of their ideological differences. The good side, ladies and gentlemen, this is a site where you can learn so many. A site and a symbol of resistance, resilience, reconciliation, forgiveness, peace, unity, tolerance, and finally, freedom. When we take all these two narratives, ladies and gentlemen, it's for us to take all what I just narrated and bring them into one nutshell and say this space is a space of human spirit triumph over adversity. And it is therefore important that those who have survived this space to share that pain that has endured and suffered from and survived and share it with all the human race so that you can take lessons out of and make our spaces where we are surviving a living space of peace and harmony for the entire human race. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, this is this section. This is a section where Mandela and the rest of the other leaders of other political movements were kept. But it doesn't necessarily mean while they were kept here, they were not subjected to all the hardship that the other people went through. They were just isolated from the rest of the other prisoners because they were regarded as the most dangerous people and they might be influencing the other prisoners otherwise. This is the section, ladies and gentlemen, without dragging the matter, a section where Madiba was deprived of education for a period of about four years, and during that period, he was secretly writing his book, Long Walk to Freedom. And the transcripts of that book he was writing were hidden in that space under those vine trees. It was only in 1979 when Mark Maharaj, the first Minister of Transport in a democratic state of South Africa, was released. They managed to smuggle that book from here to the outside world, and it managed to be published. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take you to where he served most of his 18 years. I repeat, where he served most of his 18 years. Ladies and gentlemen, the picture that you see here, it is a picture where you depict the narrative that I've given you. And it's this courtyard that you are standing at. Here, this is what they were doing during the course of the day. They are given a quota of stones to crush the rest of the day, and they have to finish that quota of stones before they are taken into a single cell. Ladies and gentlemen, in final, it is our norm and tradition as former political prisoners, when we arrive at this space, to thank all of you to take your time and visit Robben Island. But beyond that, it is also our honor to extend our words of gratitude to you South Africans, to you Africans, and to you people of the world for all the support that you have given us while we have spent our teenagehood in this space. and while we're fighting for our liberation. We thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Do you have any question?
You said you're 48 stroke what? Were you here?
No, I'm no more 48, whatever now.
But
I'm
you're here
Pumulang. Must I introduce myself?
Yes.
I'm Pumulang Castro Leholo, or
Formerly.
Lihulu. I am from George, but my family is in Paarl. I arrived here at the age of 16, sentenced to 28 years. I served 6 years because my sentence was reduced to 12 years. And out of that 12 years, I had to serve the 6 years because on my 6th year is the time Bo-Kaap prisoners were released from this space. I was the second last batch of Bo-Kaap prisoners to be released here. That's who I am. I'm no more a number. Forget about it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to lead you to where Mandela served most of his life. That is the one with the bucket, ladies and gentlemen. That bucket is his toilet.
And that's the end of another adventure here in Cape Town. Today, we've come to the iconic Table Mountain and we're going to see the sunset from the mountain in the evening. Well, obviously it's a sunset. So guys, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.